Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, students. Great. Hmm. Sir, body corporate, good. Before we start, there are some clarifications. So if anybody else also has some clarifications, you can post it. Asta Sethi's question is, body corporate includes LLP or partnership firm includes LLP? Okay. Partnership firm ideally should include LLP. If you see the definition of body corporate, then we'll get to know. Yeah, we will also explain security services includes LLP or partnership. Or is there a special category for LLP? Let us just find that out. So you are referring to the definition of person, right? Person is defined in the law and it includes everybody basically. Person includes an individual, HUF, company, firm, LLP. So in the definition of person itself, they have specifically said that a LLP is different. But I know from where you're coming. You're coming from the definition what is given in the reverse charge mechanism, right? There they use body corporate. And body corporate as such is a separate entity, which is a body corporated, incorporated by or under any laws of the country outside India. So a body corporate will include only a company. LLP will not become part of the body corporate, neither partnership firm, because partnership firm is a separate category. So that's why LLP is independent, body corporate is independent, and partnership firm, all the three are independent. Except for lawyer services, if you see in the reverse charge notification, which we were discussing last class, there they have said include the senior advocate or a firm of advocates. There they have specifically said firm includes LLP. So only in such cases where the firm includes LLP is mentioned, their firm will include LLP. Otherwise, it will just be a partnership firm itself. Okay, I hope your answer is cleared, Asta. Please explain point number 14, security services. Okay. I will share the screen on point number 14 on security services. So we can clarify that first. Point number 14 is here. It says security services. Security services, that is services provided by way of supply of security personnel. Okay. Now you have a security requirement at your office. You will not find any person individually because he may come and he may go. So you will go to a security agency, right? So these are called as security agencies. Now these people are providing you the security services. Security services provided to a registered person, right? Now exclusion will leave because whenever security services are provided to a department or establishment of the central government, state government, local authority, they are all outside the scope of reverse charge. So then who should provide the security services? Any person other than body corporate. So if a company is providing security services, that is the agency, the security agency, for example, G4 Securities, right? That is a various famous securities that we see. G4 Securities is providing services to you, and say G4 Securities is registered as a private limited company or a public limited company, whatever, it's a company. So if it's a body corporate, that is, if it's a company, then the G4 Securities themselves will pay the GST. They will charge GST in their invoice. But if they are not a company, they are, say, an individual or a partnership firm, or a LLP also for that matter, because it says other than a body corporate. So even if it is a LLP, then the GST will not be paid by them. It will be paid by the person who is receiving that service. That is, who is paying the consideration, who is appointed the security agency. That if that person is a registered person. If I am not registered, then security agency only will pay. But if they're providing to a registered person, then the registered person has to pay reverse charge. Clear, Soumya? Can you explain permanent transfer or permitting use or enjoyment of intellectual property rights? Then it will be considered as permanent transfer of permitting use or enjoyment of IP rights. So that is there under the definition of supply, that is there under Schedule 2, right? Are you asking regarding that? Sir, whom Section 5.3 would be part, would Section 5.3 be part of our RCM syllabus? 5C, okay. I'll just see when is this amendment brought into. First is on permanent transfer of IPR. We'll see that first. Yeah, I've just stopped sharing it. So in Schedule 2, it says temporary transfer or permitting the use of intellectual property rights. Okay. So it says temporary transfer or permitting the use or enjoyment of any intellectual property rights. The words used are or. So in respect of only temporary transfer, it will be a supply. If it's a permanent transfer, right? If it's a permanent transfer, with the rate notification has been incorporated a paragraph for the permanent transfer of IPR in respect of goods, and there has been no corresponding deletion of the words or permanent in the rate notification. So what has happened is, if it is temporary transfer, then it is supply of service. If it is a permanent transfer, then it will be goods. Okay, if you see the schedule from where you're identifying the question, the heading of that schedule is all of these will be treated as services. Okay, so that's why temporary transfer is services. If you permanently transfer of a IPR, so you have a IPR over a website. Okay, so you have an IPR over the website, and you're permitting to that to be used by somebody else, and they're paying you some consideration. So it's only a temporary transfer. Say you give it for 1 year, and you're collecting consideration. So it's a temporary transfer. But if you permanently transfer, you're selling it off. So it's an outright sale. For that outright sale, it will be treated as a sale of goods. Is your doubt clear? Yeah. Next is on 5C. Will it be part of our RCM? I will just tell you when it was incorporated. Five C is was there from beginning itself. Okay, but is it there in your study material? It says long-term lease of land by any person against consideration in the form of upfront amount. This was inserted in 2019, so definitely it is there. But have they specifically not included in the syllabus? Then it will not be there. It is not there in the study material. 5B and 5C are not there, so it is not there for your exam as well because it is not included in the material, which means they would have thought that that is not relevant. So 5B and 5C is there in the act, but not there for your syllabus. Any more doubts? Or can we continue with reverse charge? Can you explain non-supply and exempt supply? Okay. So exempt supply, Anubhav, is that which is taxable. It is getting covered under section 9. It is getting covered under definition of supply under section 7. But then there is a notification through which it is getting exempted. So that's why it will be treated as a exempt supply. But non-taxable supply or non-supply is all the items which is covered under Schedule 3. Okay, whichever items are covered under Schedule 3, 5 petroleum products and alcoholic liquor for human consumption, these are non-supply. On this, there is no GST available or not chargeable as per Section 7 itself. What will be the difference on non-supply or Schedule 3 items? You do not have to reverse the input tax credit. But for exempt supply, you will have to reverse the input tax credit. Exempt supplies, example, uh, various exemptions we'll see, like exemption of agriculture produce, fruits, vegetables. These are all exemption of goods. Exemption of services, we'll see healthcare services, services of educational institutions. They are all exempt services. So they will be treated as exempt services. So if these say a school is a education service exempted. If they are providing any collecting any fees on the GST will not be available. But can they claim input tax credit because they will have to incur expenses? Say they are incurring rent. So on the rent, if the landlord is charging GST, can they claim it? They cannot claim it because if the output is exempted, input cannot be claimed. Clear? Okay. So we saw the RCM notification last week in detail, last Tuesday in detail. Today we'll go into specific aspects of RCM, the reverse charge mechanism, which is to be dealt in detail. One RCM notification we had seen the entry, which was on goods transport agency. Okay. Now, in case of goods transport agency, how will this be treated is what we will see today. So reverse charge 9.3 and 5.3 and 9.4 and 5.4. These are the goods which are there under reverse charge for goods, which is not there for your syllabus as we had discussed, but reverse charge on services is there. So we have gone in detail in this notification number 13. Now, goods transport agency. We have said that GTA is, who's a GTA basically? Did you understand what's a GTA? Goods transport agency. Correct. GTA is a goods transport agency. Now, how is it different from a courier agency? Like transport by road. Even courier agency also transport by road only, Smriti. They can use various other modes, but mostly they use road transport itself. So how is it different? Neeraj is saying transport agency which transport goods from one place to another in bulk quantity. Correct. So a courier agency, what they will do, they will collect multiple couriers and go. But goods transport agency, yes, when two transport is between two registered person, not necessarily. It can be between unregistered person also. So you appoint a goods transport agency, you are appointing them to transport goods completely, right? And they take the responsibility of delivery of the goods. And in between, during the transit, if something happens, they will be held liable. That is the difference between goods transport agency and a courier agency. Courier agency is not under reverse charge. Courier agency is under normal charge. If you're giving some goods to the courier agency and you're telling them to deliver to another place, they will levy their charges and collect the GST on that. But in case of GTA, yes, stage, it is cheaper than courier also. That is also one distinction. But in a GTA, what will happen? The GTA themselves so many. They will move from one state to another state. They'll move your goods from anywhere to any place. In GTA, what they will do, you will give them your goods and they will give a document. It is in few places called as BILT. In few places, it's called as consignment note. Okay. Consignment note is a very important document. It ensures that once you receive a consignment note, that means the goods have been moved from one place to another place. That is the evidence to show that the goods have been moved from one place to another place. So these GTA services are those agencies which transfer goods from one place to another place, but and give you gives you a credit, right? Gives you a what do you call consignment note to ensure that the delivery is happening. E-way bill, yes. E-way bill, what will happen? E-way bill is generated by yourself. So you can generate the e-way bill. But in case of a GTA, that third party is giving you. E-way bill you can generate by yourself. Okay. Now, if the GTA service where the payment of GTA can happen of two types. One is the GTA can say that I will pay GST. I know if I give it to you, you will pay under reverse charge, but I want to pay it. So if he is paying it, he will pay at 12% rate, or he can pay at 5% rate. Two options he has. If he wants to pay, he can pay at two rates. One is at 12%, and another option he has to pay at 5%. If it is 12%, And if it is supplying it to a registered person, then GST is payable under forward charge. Why? Because he is paying at 12%, so he can claim the input tax credit. How can two rates be possible? There can be two rates possible. This 12% is with full ITC, and this 5% is without ITC. Okay. So if he wants to pay, he has two options. He can pay at 12% to any person, anybody who is supplying, to either to registered person or to notified person. Okay. Then he can pay and claim the input tax credit. And the buyer or the person who's availing the services of GTA, they can claim the input tax credit of full 12%. On the other hand, if he wants to pay at 5%, then he will not be paying because 5% rate will be always to the receiver. So either he can pay it under forward charge or I can pay it. If the GTA doesn't pay, then it will always be the receiver who will have to pay. And if it is a registered person, so only for GTA, you'll see that this option is given. He can pay or I can pay. If he's paying it, he can pay at either 12%, take full input tax credit, or pay at 5% and don't claim the credit. But when it comes to me, if I have to pay and GTA says, no, I'm not paying any GST, how will you get to know? In the consignment note only, you'll get to know his charges will be mentioned, the GTA charges, and on that, if he's charging any GST, it means he is paying it. If he's not mentioning, then if you are one of these category of 7 notified persons, if you are one of these notified persons, then you will have to pay it. Okay, then reverse charge will be applicable. So reverse charge will be applicable and recipient will have to pay it. Why there are two rates specifically for GTA? To give them the benefit, Anubhav, that some GTA were saying that first it was all 5%, but few GTA saying that no, if I charge 5% and don't claim the credit, my credit is getting wasted. I want to utilize it. So then the government said, okay, we'll allow you to claim the credit, but you have to pay a higher GST rate. That's why there are two rates for specifically for GTA services. Now, we were talking about 7 category of people. Who are those 7 category of people? If he is a factory registered under the Factories Act, okay. If he's not registered under GST, because if it is registered under GST, then you have a special category for that. Any person registered in GST. He could be a person registered in GST, or these other 6 category will be people who are not registered, which means a factory is newly started. It is not having any sales, but it's just registered. So if they are receiving any services of a GTA, then they will have to pay reverse charge. Or a society registered under Societies Act, or a cooperative society, any person registered in GST, a body corporate, or a partnership firm, okay, or a casual taxable person. So these are the 7 category of people which is relevant for GTA. If one of these 7 category of people receive it, then RCM will be applicable at 5% and GST liability on the above 7. Okay. Or if the supplier is paying, then the supplier has to pay at 12% or 5% again. If it belongs to another category, that is individual or unregistered person, then it will be exempted. Clear? GTA is little complicated, but once you understand it is simple, it says that, okay, boss, are you one of those 7 category of people? Yes. Then you have to pay under reverse charge. Simple. But if GTA is saying, no, no, you don't pay, I will pay it. He has the option to say that. If he pays this, he has to mention in his consignment note his GST number and the amount what he's charging. If he wants to pay, he has two options. For receiver, if reverse charge we have to pay, then it is one option, 5%. But if the supplier of GTA, if he wants to pay it, then he has two options. Either pay at 5% or pay at 12%. Clear till here? Exempted to whom? To the GTA. Once it is exempted, it will be exempted for everybody. Not that supplier is exempted, so receiver has to pay. No. If it is exempted to the supplier, it is exempted to the receiver also. It is exempted when GTA provides services to an individual or unregistered person. Clear or any other doubt? So I will explain this to you in various other slides also so you can understand. Person liable to pay tax under GTA service, where recipient is one of the specified receivers, that is the one of those 7 categories. Then the registered GTA, if he exercises the option to itself pay tax, then he can pay at 12 or 5. Both will be under forward charge because he is opting it. If he is opting, it will be forward charge at 12 or 5. And person liable to pay GST is the GTA in both the cases. But this is a second category of GST, that is, person does not exercise the option to pay itself pay tax. That is, GTA is not agreeing to pay the tax. Then GST will be payable under reverse charge basis. Here there will be only one rate of 5%. Here two rates will not be permitted because here it doesn't matter because the GTA is claiming the credit or no, that we don't know. If you are paying under reverse charge, you pay at 5% and you can claim the credit. Is it clear? Because there is an exercise which we have to do. If you are with me, then we can do the exercise. Otherwise, that exercise may not be very fruitful. If you have any doubts, you can ask here itself. So, okay, if there are no more questions, then we can go to the exercise then. You have to understand who is a recipient for GST purposes. Who has to pay GST in case of a reverse charge under GTA? Yes, Rajveer Ray.
Sir, recipient
Recipient
of service.
okay, that's
Sir,
correct. But how will you decide who is the recipient of service? So you are a company, you are a manufacturer, you are giving the goods to me. Okay, you are sending the goods to me, and we have agreed that you will only pay to the goods transport agency. I am the receiver of the goods, but we have agreed that you will pay to the goods transport agency. So in that case, who will pay GST on RCM?
sir, you will pay because you have received a good.
I have not issued. You are the manufacturer, I am the wholesaler. and you have paid to the GTA. I do not know who is the GTA. I have not interacted with him at all. He only collected the goods from you based on your instruction and delivered to my location.
Means, sir, I am supplier and you are receiver.
Correct. I am the receiver of goods.
So, sir, you will pay because you are the receiver of service.
No, receiver of service is you also because you only appointed the GTA. Think over.
Means, when who upon GTA means service of GTA who takes that will receive that will give the GS.
Correct. Who points the GTA or who pays the amount to the GTA, he will be treated as the recipient. Between the supplier and receiver of goods, who is having a contract with the GTA and who pays the consideration to the GTA? That is the person who will pay the reverse charge. So in our example, you are the manufacturer, I am the receiver. So, and you are paying to the GTA, so you are the receiver. Now, say next instance that we both agree that we have to transport the goods. You say, okay, you will find the transporter, but you are saying that I'll only find the transporter, but you have to pay to the transporter once he delivers. So he will deliver the goods to me. After receiving the delivery, I will pay the amount to the goods transport agency. So in that case, who is the recipient?
सर सर आपकी आवाज थोड़ी कट रही थी इसलिए हैंड रेस पे आप एक बार फिर से क्वेश्चन बोलो क्या
हाँ,
आधा आवाज कट गया था
ठीक है। सेकेंड क्वेश्चन मेरा ये था कि फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन हमने समझ लिया है कि जो मैन्युफैक्चरर जीटीए को पे करेगा वो रिवर्स चार्ज पे कर रहा है क्योंकि वो जीटीए को डायरेक्टली पे कर रहा है।
यस
अब सेकेंड सिचुएशन में क्या हो रहा है, मैन्युफैक्चरर जो है या आप जो हो, आप जीटीए को आइडेंटिफाई करते हो, लेकिन आपने कहा है कि पैसे मैं नहीं दूंगा, आप जब डिलीवर करोगे तब रिसीवर आपको बिल का अमाउंट देगा या कंसाइनमेंट नोट का अमाउंट देगा। तो सेकेंड सिचुएशन में रिसिपिएंट कौन रहेगा?
सर जो रिसीवर होगा गुड्स का वही
करेक्ट, क्योंकि वो क्या कर रहा है, वो है जो इसको पे कर रहा है, फ्राइट वाले को पे कर रहा है। तो हम इससे क्या समझते हैं, हु पेज द कंसिडरेशन टू द जीटीए, ओके, दैट पर्सन इज ट्रीटेड एज द रिसिपिएंट ऑफ सर्विसेज।
यस सर
यस।
सर चैट डिसेबल हो गया
हाँ,
चैट डिसेबल
चैट इनेबल है ना?
नहीं सर डिसेबल
सबके आ रहे हैं। ओके, क्योंकि इनेबल कर देंगे या फिर कुछ प्रॉब्लम है क्या? ओ, ओके। तो आप तो फिर स्टूडेंट्स को इस पे ऐप पे क्वेश्चंस रेज करना पड़ेगा। ओके, सो एनी क्वेश्चंस यू हैव काइंडली रेज इट इन द बोर्ड ऑफ स्टडीज पोर्टल। मौसम कुमारी, जीटीए यू डेंट अंडरस्टैंड सी, ठीक है। हम जीटीए को एक बार हिंदी में समझ लेंगे। गुड्स ट्रांसपोर्ट एजेंसी वो है जो अपने गुड्स को ट्रांसपोर्ट करता है, ठीक है, उसे कहते हैं गुड्स ट्रांसपोर्ट एजेंसी। अब गुड्स ट्रांसपोर्ट एजेंसी पे जीएसटी कौन पे करेगा? जो बंदा जीटीए को पे कर रहा है, मैन्युफैक्चरर हो या फिर ट्रेडर हो, सप्लायर ऑफ गुड्स हो, रिसीवर ऑफ गुड्स हो, दो पार्टीज इन्वॉल्व होते हैं। तो कौन जीटीए पे करेगा? जो पार्टी जीटीए को अमाउंट देता है वो रिवर्स चार्ज पे करेगा, ठीक है। If payment is made by the recipient and he is a retailer, then can he claim ITC on the amount paid? Yes. If he is the recipient and he is paying to the GTA, then he is the recipient of service. And if he is registered only, he will pay. If he is not registered, he will not pay. And if he is not one of those seven categories, he will not pay. Now, say he is one of those seven categories, he is registered under GTA, then he will pay the reverse charge mechanism and he can claim the ITC of that RCM which is being paid. Okay. Now let's take a case scenario and understand this. RCM on GST. Service provider is a GTA. Now I don't know who's the service receiver. You have to help me identify them. There is a consigner and there is a consignee. Consigner is a company. Now I don't know whether it's registered or unregistered. And consignee is a partnership firm. That also I don't know whether he's a registered or unregistered. Now you tell me who is the person liable to pay GST.
Sir, in first case, company is liable to pay GST
Why?
because it is receiving the service of GTA to supply goods to partnership firm.
How do you know that? Company is a consigner. How do you know that it is the person who will pay the GST?
सर हमें
Yes.
तो इसमें यही नहीं पता कि फ्रेट कौन पे कर रहा है, तो कैसे बता सकते हैं?
करेक्ट दैट इज द करेक्ट आंसर कि पर्सन जो फ्रेट पे कर रहा है उसके सिवाय आप यू कैन नॉट डिसाइड. सो दैट्स व्हाई यू हैव टू आस्क द प्रॉपर क्वेश्चन. तो फ्रेट कौन पे कर रहा है? अपने फर्स्ट केस में कंपनी पे कर रही है. नाउ सिंस कंपनी वी हैव द क्लैरिटी नाउ दैट कंपनी इज पेइंग फ्रेट. In that case, who will be the person liable to pay GST?
Sir, company.
Company. Okay. Why?
Sir, because the company is paying freight, so the company is the receiver of services.
Right. So person liable to pay freight will be company. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Company itself.
Yes, company because it is paying freight.
Because it is, sorry.
Because it is paying freight. So
Right. So it will be company. Correct. So you have understood this at this level that person liable to pay freight will be the company itself. Now, second scenario, GTA is providing service to a partner, is the supplier of service. Consigner is a partnership firm. I don't know if it is registered or unregistered. And consignee is a registered dealer, Mr. A. Now, who will be liable to pay GST in this case?
sir, who is paying freight?
That we have to again ask. Correct? So, who is paying freight will be Mr. A. Mr. A is paying the freight. In that case, who is the person liable to pay GST?
The registered dealer, that is Mr. A.
Registered dealer. Okay. What about others? What do you feel in second scenario? Yes, Janvi.
Mr. A will pay the
Mr.
GST.
A. Okay. But Mr. A is an individual.
But he is registered dealer, Mr.
Correct. Correct. I'm getting very few answers. I need answers on the BOS. Since your chat is disabled, don't respond here. Respond it on the BOS app. Rajita is saying Mr. A. Mr. A will pay the GST. Correct. So that's a right answer because who is the person who is paying freight? Mr. A, and he is registered. That's why Mr. A will pay. Partnership firm. GTA is providing services. Consignor is a partnership firm and consignee is Mr. A. And person liable to pay freight is partnership firm. So in that case, who will be liable to pay GST? Partnership firm. Miss P. What is your full name, Miss P?
Sir, partnership firm.
Partnership firm will pay. Okay. Possibility. Okay. Your name is appearing only Miss P. Yash Podar is saying GTA will pay. This is amazing. This is a new perspective that neither the supplier, that is neither the consignor nor the consignee will pay, but GTA will pay. Okay. Interesting. Rajita is saying Mr. A. Okay, Mr. A. Why will it be Mr. A? The person liable to pay freight is the partnership firm. So, who will be the person liable to pay GST? Partnership firm. Right? If you have given the correct answers at partnership firm, it will be partnership firm. Why will it be Mr. A? Is Mr. A paying the freight? Mr. A is not paying the freight. Freight is paid to the GTA by whom? Partnership firm. So you have to see whether partnership firm is one of the 7 categories. In the 7 categories, we said partnership firm, whether registered or unregistered, including a association of person. It is there in one of the 7 categories. So they will pay the reverse charge. But it is not registered. Doesn't matter, Rajita. In those 7 category of people. Okay, I'll tell you. Parallelly see your study material. In that you will have some clarity on what are those 7 category of people. I'll also tell you the page number. It just says only a registered person is one category, but there are other 6 categories also who need not be registered under GST. Page number 3.17. If you see the recipient of service, it says factory, society, cooperative society, any person registered, body corporate. Then it says any partnership firm, whether registered or unregistered under any law. And any casual taxable person. These people are called as specified recipients. Who is a casual taxable person? Any person who's registered in one state Okay, Krutar. He is registered in one state. Now he wants to go to another state and register. He will take a new registration there. So it's a normal registered person. But he doesn't want to have a permanent registration. He wants a temporary registration. He's going only for a short period, say 15 days, 20 days. He'll go and come back. Can he sell goods with India with one state's GST number? No. He has to take a registration there. So he will get a temporary registration in that state. That temporary registration is called as a casual registration, and the person who's registering as a casual registered person, he is called as a casual taxable person. Okay, so he's a casual taxable person in that state. How to know who is going to pay freight? We will not get to know. That's why it's given in the question itself. It will be given in the question itself through the facts itself that who is paying the GTA. Right? So partnership firm. Yes, Bipin Khale.
Sir, can you please explain how we decided who's paying the freight for serial number
We are
2
not
and
deciding.
3?
We are not deciding. It is given in the question itself.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So case number 3, you have understood. Even if the partnership firm is not registered, तो मिल जाएगा. ठीक है शिवानी जी. तो यहां तक आपको समझ में आ गया. फर्स्ट, सेकेंड, थर्ड में हर चीज में हमको यही देखना है कि फ्रेट कौन पे कर रहा है. कंजाइनर पे कर रहा है या कंजाइनी पे कर रही है. कंजाइनर का मतलब जो गुड्स बेचता है. कंजाइनी मतलब जो गुड्स रिसीव करता है. ठीक है. कौन जीटीए को पे करेगा उसका कैटेगरी देखिए हमको डिसाइड करना है. इस केस में हमने बोला था कि कंपनी पे कर रही है तो रिवर्स चार्ज कंपनी पे कर रही है. इस केस में मिस्टर ए, तो मिस्टर ए पे करेगा. पार्टनरशिप फर्म, तो रिवर्स चार्ज कौन पे करेगा? पार्टनरशिप फर्म. ठीक है. अभी ऐसे ही समझिए आप अगले कैटेगरी को. जीटीए इज प्रोवाइडिंग सर्विस. कंजाइनर इज अ कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी. कंजाइनी इज मिस्टर ए. In this case, person liable to pay freight is Mr. A. So in this case, who will be liable to pay GST?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Cooperative society.
Cooperative society. Okay. Why cooperative society?
Sir, because it's registered
Okay.
and मेंशन है 7 कैटेगरी में कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी भी उसमें आता है.
ठीक है. तो cooperative society. तो registered dealer नहीं आ रहा है क्या? GST a person registered under GST Act भी one of the 7 categories है ना?
वो भी है लेकिन अभी आपने जैसे पार्टनरशिप फर्म में समझा था ना उसी तरह से कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी भी उसी 5 लिस्ट में आती है.
लेकिन पार्टनरशिप फर्म में क्या किया था? पार्टनरशिप फर्म में पर्सन लायबल टू पे फ्रेट भी पार्टनरशिप फर्म थी. फ्रेट वाले को पार्टनरशिप फर्म पे कर रहा था तो इसीलिए पार्टनरशिप फर्म जीएसटी पे कर रहा है. इस केस में कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी पे नहीं कर रही है. कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी कंजाइनर है लेकिन जीटीए को कौन पे कर रहा है? मिस्टर ए पे कर रहा है. तो आपका आंसर के ऊपर आप फिर से ध्यान दीजिए.
ओके सर.
Everybody is given correct answer. Nishant, Kumari, Rihana, Rajita, Shankar, Prutar, Anubhav, Yash Podar, Almas, Shaila Rajput. सर जो पर्सन फ्रेट के लिए लायबल है वही जीएसटी के लिए भी लायबल है. हाँ, वही लायबल होगा अगर वो 7 कैटेगरीज में है. 7 जनों को जो कैटेगरी हमने बताया था, अगर वो उस कैटेगरी में है तब वो पे करेगा. इस केस में मिस्टर ए रजिस्टर्ड है, रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन वन ऑफ द 7 कैटेगरीज में आता है, तो मिस्टर ए फ्राइट जीएसटी भी पे करेगा रिवर्स चार्ज. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट, GTA providing services to a cooperative society. I'm not saying providing, बस सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर दिया. कंसाइनर कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी है, कंसाइनी रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन है. पर्सन लायबल टू पे फ्रेट इज अ कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी. ओके. 4 और 5 में कंसाइनर और कंसाइनी दोनों सेम है, लेकिन द पर्सन लायबल टू पे फ्रेट अलग अलग है. 4th वाले केस में मिस्टर ए था, 5th वाले केस में कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी है. तो इस केस में who will be the person liable to pay GST?
सर इसमें कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी होगा.
लास्ट टाइम भी आपने कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी बोला था. अभी आप कॉन्फिडेंट हैं?
यस सर. लायबल टू पे फ्रेट जो कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी दे रही है इसलिए.
ओके.
सर फ्रेट कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी दे रहा है इसलिए कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी, और वो 7 कैटेगरीज में भी आता है इसलिए.
करेक्ट. रजिता इज सेइंग एनीबडी कैन पे. अरे ऐसे थोड़े होता है, अगर एनी पर्सन कैन पे तो फिर लॉ इतना क्लैरिटी नहीं देता ना. लॉ में क्लैरिटी दे रहा है दैट द पर्सन विल बी वन पर्सन हु विल पे, वरना फिर दोनों झगड़ेंगे ना. Vemuri Janvi is saying cooperative society will pay. Right. So everybody is mostly inclined that yes, cooperative society will pay. So I have to agree with you that yes, cooperative society will pay. Now these are all baby questions. Now we'll go to a little complicated questions. So once you understood, now we'll go to a little complicated question. GTA is providing services. Consignor is company A, consignee is company B. Person liable to pay freight is company B. Now tell me who will be the person liable to pay GST? Company B. कंपनी भी लॉक कर दिया जाए. क्योंकि मेजॉरिटी आंसर्स तो वही आ रहे हैं अब तक. हाँ, अनुभव ने कहा है कि कंपनी ए. कंपनी ए क्यों बोल रहे हो भाई? Yes, Anand Ruti.
So company B is going to pay the GST, sir, because any casual taxable person can pay that. It comes in categories, sir. That 7 categories, it comes. Company B comes in that, so it can pay.
Okay, so you're saying company B will come under the category of casual taxable person.
Yes, any company has to pay the tax, right? In
Correct,
that it will come.
But the reason I'm asking, why will company B pay?
So company B is liable to pay the freight, sir.
Correct. And company B is not a casual taxable person. We don't know whether it's a casual taxable person. It says only registered or unregistered. So in one of those 7 categories, one category is a body corporate. Correct?
Okay, sir. Okay.
So it says
Understood.
body corporate, that's why it will pay, not because it's a casual taxable person.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So in this case, company B will pay because body corporate is one of the 7 categories. Correct. Basically, consignor consignee is not related. Any person paying freight, if he is one of the 7 categories, then they will pay RCM. You're absolutely right. Yes, company comes under body corporate itself. Unregistered dealer is A and consignee is registered dealer Y. And person who is liable to pay freight is unregistered dealer A. In that case, who will be the person liable to pay GST?
Sir, registered dealer Y,
Registered dealer Y. Okay.
because dealer A is unregistered.
Okay. Body corporate includes company. Mrs. Shruti P, right? Shruti P is saying that it is GTA. Dealer Y is liable to pay registered dealer Y. So you're saying registered dealer Y has to pay. Okay. Exempted. Okay. Most of you are saying it is dealer Y because dealer Y is registered. तो अनरजिस्टर्ड डीलर का लायबिलिटी था, लेकिन आप उसकी टोपी अभी डीलर वाई पे डाल रहे हो. हाँ, it is exempt supply. I got one correct answer that it is exempt of Miss Mehak. Others are all saying that iski topi uske sir. Till now, what have we understood? Yash Parmar, you had also mentioned clearly that the criteria is whether consignor consignee is not related, and you have given a correct answer, of course, and any person paying freight, if he is one of the 7 categories, then he will pay RCM, otherwise it is exempted. Correct. तो आपको इसकी टोपी इसके ऊपर नहीं डालनी है. Who is the person who is recipient of service? The unregistered dealer is paying freight. तो unregistered person और GTA का रिलेशनशिप देखिए. फिर रजिस्टर्ड डीलर वाई पिक्चर में ही नहीं आए. ओके. सप्लायर सप्लाई कर रहा है, जीएसटी पे नहीं कर रहा है, लेकिन जीटीए को तो उसको कंसिडरेशन पे करना ही पड़ेगा. अब उसने कंसिडरेशन पे किया है जीटीए को, तो वो रिवर्स चार्ज पे करेगा नहीं पे करेगा, क्योंकि वो अनरजिस्टर्ड डीलर है. गॉट इट? नेक्स्ट, unregistered dealer A, registered dealer Y, and person liable to pay freight is registered dealer Y. In this case, who will be the person liable to pay GST? Sure. Everybody is now saying registered dealer Y. Correct. That's the right answer. Registered dealer Y, because he is the person paying freight and he is registered. Next, question number 9. Unregistered dealer A, consignee is unregistered dealer B. Person liable to pay freight is unregistered dealer B. Okay. So everybody is saying GTA and then corrected and then they're saying exempted. So final answer sabka hai unanimously that it is exempted. You're right. It is exempted. Next company GTA is unregistered now. इतनी देर हमको पता नहीं था जीएसटी रजिस्टर्ड या अनरजिस्टर्ड. हमने रिलेशनशिप देखिए कर दिया. अब जीटीए यूआरडी का मतलब अनरजिस्टर्ड. Consigner is company C, is registered or unregistered, I don't know. Partnership firm, registered or unregistered, I don't know. And person liable to pay freight is company C. Now you tell me who will be the person liable to pay GST. I know, yes, but for some reason, because there are a lot of few people who are creating nuisance by coming over, that's the reason the chat has been disabled. Company C, okay. Shaila, what is your point? Are you telling answer for point number 10? No, it was for previous. Okay. For 10th one, what is your answer? Company C itself, right? So company C, because GTA is unregistered. Because if GTA would have been registered, right? And if he is willing to pay, then we will not pay. If he is not willing to pay, then it will always be the recipient. GTA again unregistered, supplying unregistered dealer A and registered dealer Y. Person liable to pay freight is registered dealer Y. In this case, who will be the person liable to pay GST? Registered dealer Y. Registered dealer Y itself. Right? Next, GTA is unregistered, providing consigner is unregistered dealer A, consignee is unregistered dealer B. Person liable to pay freight is unregistered dealer B. I'll add two more things. But your answer for the 12th. Yeah, question number 12. Exempt. In point number 10, why consigner is supposed to pay? Point number 10. Because company C. Why consigner is supposed to pay? Instead, service consumed by consignee. No, service is not consumed by consignee. Service is consumed by company C itself, who is treated as the person consuming the service, the person who pays to the GTA. So the person, company C is paying to the GTA. So company C is using the services of a GTA. So company C will pay the reverse charge. Clear, Rishi? That's what we've been discussing till now. 12th case, it is exempt. Correct? Because it is to an unregistered recipient. क्वेश्चन नंबर 13, जीटीए यहाँ पे सेम है, यहाँ पे अनरजिस्टर्ड था, यहाँ पे रजिस्टर्ड है. एंड पर्सन लायबल टू पे फ्रेट इज अनरजिस्टर्ड डीलर बी, या फिर अनरजिस्टर्ड डीलर ई, ए कर देते हैं. तो इसमें क्या है, एग्जेम्प्ट है या किसी को पे करना पड़ेगा? जीटीए विल पे. बस जीटीए रजिस्टर्ड है तो फिर जीटीए पे करेगा. जीटीए रजिस्टर्ड है, ओके, एंड consignor or consignee is not any of those 7 category of people, because if it is unregistered, they're not under one of the 7 categories of people. Correct? So GTA, we have seen that, right? If GTA is providing to any other category, then it is exempted. So this will be an exempt supply. Even if GTA is registered, right, it will still be a exempt supply itself, because they are providing to one of those non-7 category of people. This is very important. Okay, next. GTA provide is registered, consignor is unregistered dealer A, consignee is unregistered dealer B, and who is person liable to pay? GTA declares that he will pay GST under forward charge mechanism. FCM is forward charge mechanism. So in this case, who will be the person liable to pay GST? Same facts like previous one, but here it is GTA declares that he will pay. Kritarth lad, I'm seeing so many blank messages from you. Fourteenth one, GTA will pay. Correct. Since they are registered and they have declared, then they have to pay it. Under forward charge, they will have to pay. Exemption will not apply. Now, in this case, again, GTA is registered, company C and a partnership firm, and GTA declares that they will pay GST under FCM. So then who will pay who is the person liable to pay GST in this 14th case? 13th case, everybody understood, right? Right. 14th case, everybody understood. Now 15th one. Exempt does not apply to specified person. That is for the 14th one, right? But still, it is liable to pay it because GST said that I will pay the GST under forward charge. That's why he will have to pay it. 15th one, yes, GTA will pay. You're right. It is GTA who will pay. Clear? Awesome. Now we will, any doubts here in till the GTA part before we go to the next aspect? Again, we have an exercise for the next one. Understood. Okay. So we'll take a break of 10 minutes here and we'll come at 3:55. Okay. So we have discussed on GTA to brush up so that जो भी कंफ्यूजन है सभी को पता चल जाएगा अभी. सर्विस रिसिपिएंट, प्रोवाइडर कौन है? जीटीए. रिसीवर कौन है? जो जीटीए को पे करेगा वो रिसीवर है. अगर वो एक 7 कैटेगरी में है, कौन से 7 कैटेगरीज? फैक्ट्री, सोसाइटी, कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी, पर्सन रजिस्टर्ड अंडर जीएसटी, बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट, पार्टनरशिप फर्म या फिर कैजुअल टैक्सेबल पर्सन. इन 7 कैटेगरी के लोगों हैं तो फिर इनको रिवर्स चार्ज पे करना पड़ेगा. कितना टका? 5%. ठीक है. और अगर सर्विस प्रोवाइडर पे करता है तो वो 12% या 5%. उसके पास 2 ऑप्शन रहते हैं. रिसीवर के पास एक ही ऑप्शन है, 5%. ओके. और अगर ये जीटीए प्रोवाइड करता है किसी दूसरे कैटेगरी को तो वो एग्जेम्प्ट हो जाएगा ये नोटिफिकेशन नंबर 32/2012 के तहत. क्लियर है यहां तक? तो यही हमने वर्किंग्स के थ्रू पढ़ा था. आप समझ गए शिवानी जी अभी? Shankar, you got the rate clarification also? Please explain RCM not applicable to government department, local authority who is registered for TDS only. So government will not get generally registered because services by government are all exempted. Okay, Kritak. But they will have to be registered because if you supply something to them, then they have to deduct TDS. Now, if they have to deduct TDS, they have to take the registration. So once they take registration, will they be classified under the category of registered person? No. So that's why it's clarifying that RCM will not be applicable to the government department or local authority who are registered only for the purpose of TDS. They will still be treated as unregistered person because if a government authority takes registration, then they will have to pay GST under RCM purpose. That's why they have said that if a government authority is taking registration only for the purpose of TDS deduction, then they will not be treated as a person registered for the purpose of GST. When will GTA opt for 5%? They will opt for 5% when they don't claim input tax credit. मतलब जो भी expenses है, they will not be able to claim. Then they will opt for 5%. Casual taxable person exempt नहीं है, वो 7 categories में है, exempted में नहीं है. What is TDS? Income GST means we have a separate chapter on TDS. Ki if you supply something to the government has to pay you. They will pay after deduction of some amount and pay the balance. That is called as TDS. जो वो आपके नाम से गवर्नमेंट को पे करेंगे उसे कहते हैं TDS. Now, GTA we understood. Clear है यहाँ तक? We'll go to the next category, which is classification for forward charge or reverse charge in case of renting of motor vehicle. Now, any renting of motor vehicle is not covered here. Specific motor vehicles only are covered, which is renting of motor vehicle, including cost of fuel. This is very important. Not all motor vehicles will get covered. Only renting of motor vehicle. Renting of motor vehicle, including cost of fuel. Now, if you buy a Ola or Uber, that is not covered here because that is not rental, that is hiring. Okay, renting of motor vehicle means जब कोई कार आपको चलानी है और ड्राइवर नहीं देंगे, वो सिर्फ कार देंगे और फ्यूल का चार्ज भी लेंगे, and they will charge you per kilometer basis. Tab this will get covered when the renting of motor vehicle including cost of fuel is provided, then this category will come in. Here if that company, जैसे बहुत सारी famous companies है, रेवा, रेंट कार, ठीक है, माइल्स, ऐसे बहुत सारी कंपनी है जो कार देती है, यू यूज इट, मेक अ प्री डिपॉजिट, आप यूज कीजिए और फिर रिटर्न कर दीजिए, और हाउ मच ऑफ अ किलोमीटर यू हैव यूज्ड उसके लिए हम चार्जेस लेंगे, ठीक है. Now in that category, if that company, Miles, say example Miles is a company, now they are a body corporate. If they are a body corporate, services provided by body corporate, if that company is a body corporate, then service supplied to any person, they will have to charge 12% and 5%. जैसे GTA में 12 और 5% था, यहाँ पे भी if supplier is to pay, when supplier is to pay, when he's a body corporate. If that is a company, then they can pay 12% and 5%. वहां पे क्या था, 12% without with full ITC और 5% without ITC. यहाँ पे सिंपल थोड़ा डिफरेंस है, इट इज 12% with full ITC and 5% with limited ITC. Okay. When supplier is availing limited ITC, what do you mean by limited ITC? Full ITC नहीं claim कर सकते, लेकिन ITC of services in the same line of business. Okay. Now, what is that limited ITC? I have provided a cap that I will provide with the fuel. Now, with demand ज़्यादा हो गया, I don't have that cars. तो फिर I will ask others to give me their car. Right? I will take cars from others and give it to the customer because I have a demand for the cars. Now, when I get from others car, they will charge me GST. किसी और से कार ले रहा हूं तो. So when they charge me GST, that GST I can claim credit in this limited ITC, but any other credit I cannot claim. That is the meaning of limited ITC. Okay, so 12% full ITC, 5% with limited ITC. And services is provided by person other than body corporate. Service is supplied to a person other than a body corporate. When the services are provided by person other than body corporate ho gaya. Now there is another company who is not a body corporate. If they are providing services to any individual, then it will be again under forward charge. ठीक है, जो सपोज एक पार्टनरशिप फर्म है, पार्टनरशिप फर्म सेम बिजनेस में है, और वो अगर इंडिविजुअल, एनीबडी अदर देन बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट, इंडिविजुअल या फिर पार्टनरशिप को प्रोवाइड करते हैं, तब बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट द सर्विस प्रोवाइडर विल पे. और अगर ये नॉन बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट प्रोवाइड करती है बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट को, जैसे नॉन कंपनी प्रोवाइड करती है किसी कंपनी को, तो फिर इट इज टैक्सेबल अंडर forward charge at 12%. If the supplier wants to avail, if the supplier wants to avail limited, then taxable on reverse charge at 5%. Clear? थोड़ा कंफ्यूजन है. अगर सप्लायर कॉर्पोरेट है तो हमेशा फॉरवर्ड चार्ज होगा. अगर सप्लायर कॉर्पोरेट नहीं है तो फिर दो हो सकते हैं. इफ द रिसीवर इज अ बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट तो रिसीवर पे करेगा, लेकिन अगर सप्लायर बोलता नहीं मुझे फुल आईटीसी क्लेम करनी है तो फिर वो 12% चार्ज करेगा. एंड इफ ही इज प्रोवाइडिंग टू नॉन बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट तो फिर ऑलवेज फॉरवर्ड चार्ज भी होगा. ठीक है. To get an understanding into this, we will again go to that working so that we will understand in a better manner. RCM on GST on the service of renting of motor vehicle, including cost of fuel. So if it is not cost of fuel, तो ऐसे कुछ भी reverse charge नहीं आएगा. It will come only in that situation where the motor vehicle is rented along with cost of fuel. Company A is a service provider. Company B is a receiver. Who is the person liable to pay GST? इसमें person liable to pay the GTA की तरह यहाँ पे नहीं आएगा because that condition is not involved here. We have to only see यार यहाँ पे 7 category of people को भी देखने की जरूरत नहीं है. Only you have to see corporate or non-corporate. Company A is provider and company B is the receiver. Company B is the person liable to pay GST. Okay. Any other answers? This is different from reverse on GTA. Don't get confused with GTA over here. Yes, I need answers.
Sir,
Yes.
you had asked to unmute me.
Yes, yes. Can you tell the answer for this?
Sir, company A.
Company A will pay. Correct. Why company A?
Sir, because it is a body corporate.
Correct. So if it is a body corporate, receiver can be a body corporate or no, doesn't matter. If service provider is a corporate, then GST will be paid by the body corporate always. Correct answer. They will pay under forward charge or reverse charge?
Forward charge.
Correct. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So clear everybody, if the supplier is a body corporate, recipient, whatever it be, even if it is body corporate, supplier only will pay because supplier is a body corporate. Recipient is a body corporate. Yes, Rajita. Company A, it's a body corporate. Second question. Company A is a body corporate. Registered or unregistered doesn't matter. Receiver is a partnership firm. Who will be liable to pay GST in this case? Company A. Correct. Company A is the right answer. But my System is stuck now. My God. The person liable to pay GST will be company A. Again, under what charge? Forward charge, because service provider paying any taxes, forward charge itself. Correct? Case number C, partnership firm is a service provider and service recipient is also is a partnership firm. Yes,
हेलो.
yes.
हाँ सर, एक डाउट था मुझे. हेलो
हाँ बोलिए.
सर, FCM मतलब RCM होता है ना सर, वही सेम है ना सर, रिवर्स चार्जेस?
क्या?
RCM वही है ना सर नेम? FCA मतलब FCM.
FCM का मतलब RCM नहीं है. FCM मतलब फॉरवर्ड चार्ज है.
ये अलग है
RCM
क्या?
मतलब रिवर्स चार्ज. जो नॉर्मल सप्लायर पे करता है उसे कहते हैं FCM.
ओके. ये अलग है क्या सर?
अलग नहीं है, नॉर्मल है. RCM के अलावा
नॉर्मल.
जो भी है वो फॉरवर्ड चार्ज है. हाँ.
हाँ हाँ, ठीक है सर, थैंक यू.
So partnership firm A will pay GST.
Who will pay?
Partnership firm A.
A will pay. Okay.
Both are other than body corporate. So the supplier will pay.
Okay.
सर पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म में
Partnership firm B.
ए.
A itself. Okay. Okay, everybody is saying partnership firm A. Correct answer is partnership firm A. It will be under forward charge mechanism because the recipient is a non-body corporate. Simple. Fourth is cooperative society is having a fleet of cars possible, and service receiver is a partnership firm. In this case, who will be liable to pay GST?
सर कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी बिकॉज द रिसिपेंट इज नॉन रजिस्टर्ड मतलब नॉन बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट.
Not body corporate. So cooperative society, again at a forward charge. Question number 5.
सर इट विल बी कंपनी ए.
Company A. Okay. Company A is the correct answer. Now, is it forward charge or reverse charge? Because few people are getting confused here.
Reverse charge, sir.
Reverse charge, because it is the recipient is paying, so it will always be reverse charge. Correct. Question number 6. Dealer Mr. A and receiver is company A.
Company A, sir, under reverse charge mechanism.
Company A under reverse charge. Okay. Correct. Because it's a body corporate, it will be under reverse charge mechanism. 7th question. Company A providing to a registered dealer Mr. A. He's registered under GST.
Company A, sir, supplier under forward charge mechanism. He is a body corporate.
Correct. Rishi Vyas, what is your answer for the 6th one? Company A forward charge for the 7th one is correct. Company A under forward charge. Very simple. Question number 8. Registered dealer Mr. A is availing full ITC and he is providing services to company A.
Sir, company A.
Company A. Okay. Yes. What is your answer, Anubhav?
Sir, company A under reverse charge mechanism.
Okay. Anybody
Sir,
having
dealer A under forward charge.
why so?
Sir, cause he is availing full ITC, so he will charge at 12%.
Correct. So as soon as the supplier is availing full ITC, it will be the supplier who will have to charge GST and he will have to pay under forward charge. Okay. I will go back to the slide at the end. Then you see that if the person is availing full ITC, then it is taxable on forward charge at 12%. Next, question number 9.
Sir, Mr. A, because supply is crossing the threshold limit. Chapter 1 में से जो threshold limit था 20 lakhs तो registered person होगा Mr. Then Mr.
Right.
A,
So कौन पे करेगा यहाँ पे?
Mr. A.
मिस्टर ए. ओके. तो फिर थ्रेशोल्ड लिमिट का मतलब क्या हो?
Sir, turnover of a year and it is a continuous.
Correct. His turnover in the year is less than 20 lakhs. Why should he pay?
Sir, I thought it is more than so.
Huh? Yes, Madhvi Iyer. सुनील कुमार।
सर यहाँ पे एग्जाम्प्ट होगा कि अनरजिस्टर्ड है तो
एग्जेम्प्ट होगा, अनरजिस्टर्ड है तो। सप्लायर अनरजिस्टर्ड है, रिसीवर भी अनरजिस्टर्ड है, तो फिर टैक्स गवर्नमेंट को नहीं मिलेगा।
देना पड़ेगा।
करेक्ट है, एग्जेम्प्ट रहेगा क्योंकि सप्लायर अनरजिस्टर्ड है और रिसीवर कॉर्पोरेट नहीं है। अगर बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट होता तो बात अलग होती, तो बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट नहीं है तो इसलिए एग्जेम्प्ट हो जाएगा एंड इट विल बी अंडर नो एफसीएम आरसीएम क्योंकि एग्जेम्प्ट ही है। नेक्स्ट, अनरजिस्टर्ड डीलर बट उसका टर्नओवर मोर देन 20 लाख है और वो सप्लाई कर रहा है अनरजिस्टर्ड डीलर बी को।
सर यहाँ पे मिस्टर ए दे क्योंकि रजिस्टर्ड हो जाएगा।
रजिस्टर हो गया है क्या आपको पता चल गया है कैसे रजिस्टर किया? क्वेश्चन तो मैं तो अनरजिस्टर्ड डीलर है वो।
हाँ सर, बट सप्लाईज 20 लाख से ज्यादा हो गए।
तो आप उसको रजिस्ट्रेशन दे दोगे?
नहीं सर।
फिर
सर अगर अभी तक उसने अनरजिस्टर्ड किया तो एग्जेम्प्ट हो जाएगा क्योंकि दोनों अनरजिस्टर्ड है।
बिकॉज यहाँ पे कैटेगरी में रजिस्टर्ड अनरजिस्टर्ड कैटेगरी नहीं है, इसमें कहा गया है कि प्रोवाइडेड सप्लायर ऑफ सप्लाईज हैज टेकन supplier of services opts to pay GST and it is person who is liable to pay tax in case of each of this about two rates. That is, person liable to pay GST is RCM. Okay, when the recipient is other than body corporate. अच्छा, ब्रेक भी हुई क्यों? क्लास ठीक है नहीं? So supplier is unregistered dealer, but he is crossing the threshold limit. So it will be Mr. A itself. So more than 20 lakhs, sorry, more than 20 lakhs की केस में he is liable for registration. So Mr. A has to pay GST under forward charge क्योंकि उसका threshold cross हो गया, उसने registration नहीं लिया है, but he is liable for registration. That's why Mr. A will have to pay the GST under forward charge. ऐसा होगा तो उसका लिमिट 1 करोड़ भी हो जाएगा, वो रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं लेगा। करेक्ट? His liability is there, he is not registered. He cannot collect it from unregistered dealer because only a registered person can collect GST on the invoices. तो इसीलिए उसका लिमिट क्रॉस हो गया तो उसे रजिस्ट्रेशन लेना पड़ेगा और जीएसटी तो पे करना ही पड़ेगा। 11th क्वेश्चन, अनरजिस्टर्ड डीलर ए प्रोवाइडिंग सर्विसेज टू कंपनी ए। मिस्टर ए आरसीएम नहीं होगा ना? somebody saying मिस्टर ए एंड आरसीएम, how can it be मिस्टर ए आरसीएम? रजिता, RCM paid by Mr. A under FCM. Without GST number, how will he register? So he will have to take registration. Liability is there on him. He is not taken registration on time. That is his mistake. So he will have to take registration and remit it. No problem, Rajita. This is the way you learn it. If you have done mistakes here, then you know that, okay, this sheet will be shared with you. You rework on this, so you'll get the answers. Don't worry about it. Did you understand the concept? That is important. It is company A under reverse charge. Correct? Twelfth question, company A is registered or unregistered? I don't know. Claiming full ITC, company B is registered or unregistered? We don't know. In this case, who will pay? Who is liable to pay GST? Simplest question in the last. Rashid. Company A, because full ITC they are claiming, so it will be under forward charge mechanism. Clear?
सर हमको खाली वो एग्जाम्प्ट वाला वापस बता दीजिए प्लीज.
कौन सा exempt वाला? If a unregistered dealer is supplying it to another unregistered dealer, then it will be exempted, provided हमको उसका लिमिट पता है. अगर कुछ लिमिट नहीं दिया है तो we can assume that he is just unregistered. लेकिन unregistered में उसका टर्नओवर भी दिया है कि he is less than 20 lakhs. तो फिर he is not liable to pay GST because unregistered dealer को तो GST लगेगा ही नहीं. लग सकता है रिसीवर को, लेकिन रिसीवर कॉर्पोरेट नहीं है और RCM फॉर दिस कैटेगरी सिर्फ बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट को ही लगता है. करेक्ट? सो रिसीवर अपनी केस में तो अनरजिस्टर्ड है तो उसको भी नहीं लगेगा और सप्लायर को नहीं लगेगा. दैट्स व्हाई इट इज एग्जेम्प्टेड. Here everyone on GTA and motor vehicle where cost of fuel is included. This exercise will not be there in a study material also. This has been prepared by me. So I will share this with you. You can revise this. It will be very helpful to understand the concepts in a better manner. Okay. So this is what we had discussed, and through that workings you have understood it very clearly. Next. Now renting of motor vehicle, we have one category, and we have transportation of passengers. Now, how do we know what is renting of motor vehicle and transportation of passengers? There can be a doubt, right? Because RCM is applicable only on renting of motor vehicle, not on transportation of passengers. So how do we distinguish that? There is a clear differentiation between the two. The two services fall definitely under different heads in the tariff. Like how we have HSN code, like that we have SAC code for services. And renting of motor vehicle is in a different category and transportation of services in a different category. Services of renting of motor vehicle designed to carry passengers will cover renting of motor vehicle for transportation of passengers and for a period of time, where the renter defines how and when the vehicles will be operated. So if I rent a car, okay, I can decide how he has to go, which route he has to catch. That is renting of motor vehicle. But in case of passenger transport service, like a bus, when you catch a bus, you cannot tell them to go through this way. They have a specified predetermined route and a predetermined schedule. At your time, they will not go. They will go at their specified time. जैसे local buses होती है या interstate buses होती है. You cannot tell them the time. In case of renting of motor vehicle, we can tell that. But in case of transportation of passengers, we can't tell. That's why on transportation of passengers, even though the ticket price includes cost of fuel, on that reverse charge will not trigger. Specifically only on the first part, that is renting of motor vehicles, RCM will trigger. Okay. Next is remuneration to director. We see under reverse charge, there is one category called director, any amount paid to the director. Now, whether firstly we have to decide, and we also said that employer-employee relationship is outside GST. So now whether director is an employee or no. To decide whether director is an employee or employer, no. Because if he's an employee, तो फिर GST ही नहीं लगेगा. Forget reverse charge. First, if GST is applicable, only then reverse charge will come. If GST is not applicable, then reverse charge will not come at all. Right? Now, independent directors or other directors who are not employee, on their services, reverse charge comes in. But if it is a employer-employee, then definitely GST doesn't come. So it has to be ascertained whether director is an employee or no. Then the activities, what is performed in the course of employment, right? In the course of employment, they do anything that is not liable to GST. Now, to check that, one of the criteria is income tax. In income tax, we have something called as income tax TDS, right? There is one section called section 192. For any payment made by the company to the director, if they are deducting TDS under section 192, it means he is an employee, because that 192 section itself is for deduction of TDS on any payment made to an employee. So we can borrow the TDS from there and see, okay, the company has deducted TDS under 192. It means he's an employee. I don't have to pay GST under reverse charge. But if they deduct TDS under section 194J, right? Are you aware of 192 and 194J firstly? No. अरे यार, few people know it. Okay. So income tax में हम TDS जो deduct करते हैं उसको अलग अलग section में deduct करते हैं. There are two sections which is relevant for us now. काफी सारे sections है, but for our discussion there are two TDS deductions. One is 192, which is TDS deduction for salary, and 194J is for deduction for professional fees. So any professional fees, if you're deducting making any payment to a professional, you're deducting any TDS. That means he's a professional. And if he's an employee, that will be under 192. So these deductions, if you remember, so if the company deducts TDS under 192, it means he's an employee. Because अगर आप employee हो तभी 192 पे deduct करोगे, और अगर employee नहीं है तो फिर 194J पे deduct करोगे. So that criteria is helping us to decide this. Correct. TDS section 192 salaries. You know this perfectly. Correct. See, Rajita, even though you are giving wrong answers, technically you are correct. Okay. Completely समझ आ गया. Good. Yeah. So 192 says that TDS for salaries. So if they given the question that the company had deducted TDS under 192, now you decide reverse charge is payable or no. So what will be your answer? Good question, Rishi. In case of TDS, it will be deducted on the taxable amount, not on the tax value. Not payable. Correct. So if it is the TDS is deducted under 192, we can clearly be sure that the payment made by the company to this director is in the nature of a employment. So it will not be a it is an employer-employee relationship. Reverse charge will not attract. शिवानी जी कौन सा समझ में नहीं आया तुम्हें? इसीलिए हर एक टॉपिक जैसे हमने जीटीए को हिंदी में समझा, ये भी हम हिंदी में समझ रहे हैं. आपको कौन सा टॉपिक समझ में नहीं आ रहा है? ठीक है. सो अगर डायरेक्टर एम्प्लॉय है तो रिवर्स चार्ज नहीं लगेगा. अगर डायरेक्टर नॉन एम्प्लॉय है तो फिर टीडीएस जीएसटी रिवर्स चार्ज पे लगेगा. ठीक है. इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स ऑन आरसीएम, दिस यू हैव टू नोट डाउन. Might not be relevant for your exams, but have this understanding. There is nothing called partial reverse charge कि आधा supplier pay कर देगा, आधा मैं pay करूंगा. नहीं, it is full reverse charge, not a partial reverse charge. When they say reverse charge is payable, whatever is the rate, what was payable by the supplier, it will be paid instead of supplier by the recipient. Okay. And all taxpayers are required to pay the GST under reverse charge have to mandatorily obtain registration. They were not registered. Now they have received one of these category of services for which they have to pay reverse charge. So they will have to register and pay it. Okay. Then payment of taxes under RCM cannot be made by the inputs. कि मेरे पास इतना सारा input पड़ा है, मैं उसको utilize कर से pay करूंगा. Not possible. You have to pay reverse charge through cash. You cannot utilize your existing credit to make payment of this reverse charge. Then, once you pay the reverse charge, you can claim that credit because instead of supplier charging, you have paid to the government. So you can claim the credit of it. Pay the reverse charge, then take the credit of this. Okay. Then other services in reverse charge from the notification is to be discussed. That we'll discuss.
सर व्हेन हमारे पास जब आरसीएम होता है तब हम लोग इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट पे नहीं कर सकते, मतलब यूज नहीं कर सकते, सिर्फ एफसीएम में कर सकते हैं.
कैश में पे करना है. राइट.
और आईटीसी सिर्फ फॉरवर्ड चार्ज में पे कर सकते हैं यूज.
हाँ, आईटीसी को हम फॉरवर्ड चार्ज का पेमेंट में यूज कर सकते हैं.
ओके.
थ्रेशोल्ड एग्जेम्पशन मतलब जिस लिमिट तक, till what limit you have to not register or registration is not compulsory. That is called threshold limit. So in registration chapter, when we go, we'll see, already we have seen in the initial chapters, up to 20 lakhs for services is the threshold limit. For goods, 40 lakhs. And for each state wise, it varies. Why, sir, RCM is not paid through credit ledger? Because RCM, if it is paid through credit, then government will not get the revenue. So that's why they want to pay it, but you claim it back. So what's the fun of that? See, there will be some category of people who are providing exempt services fully. So for them, it will have an impact that instead of supplier paying, receiver is paying, they cannot claim it. But others who are making taxable supply, they have to pay and then they can claim it. ठीक है. Now next is on, we know that reverse charge 9.4 we have understood, 9.3 we have understood, 9.4 we'll discuss later on. Then we have one more GST, and like under 9 we have 9.5. Okay, under 9.5 we will see what is happening, who is paying GST. Jaise instead of supplier paying, receiver is paying, that is under reverse charge. Now we will see that under 9.5 supplier also is not paying, receiver also is not paying. Then who is paying? The intermediary, who is called as an e-commerce operator. So e-commerce operator के transaction में e-commerce operator will pay it. Okay, so in specific transaction, e-commerce operator is the person who will pay the GST. How does the e-commerce operator work? Generally, it works on this model called as marketplace model, which you have to understand to get the clarity. Okay, in marketplace model, supplier does not know the customer directly. He goes to the e-commerce operator, does the listing of his product, or he places the product on this e-commerce portal. Typical example हम लेंगे Amazon का. Supplier क्या कर रहा है, अपने goods Amazon पे list कर रहा है और आपको as a customer e-commerce के ऐप में ये products दिख रहे हैं. Correct? तो आप क्या करोगे, आपको पसंद आ गया, आप ऑर्डर करोगे, ऑर्डर करके पेमेंट भी करोगे ई-कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर को. पैसे कहाँ गए? ये ई-कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर के पास है. नाउ ई-कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर जो है अपना कमीशन लेगा, बिकॉज उसने क्या किया, सप्लायर को कस्टमर से कनेक्ट करवाया. परमानेंट नहीं, अगर परमानेंट करेगा तो ये बंद हो जाएगा ना, तो इसीलिए इसने टेम्पररी एक प्रोडक्ट के डिलीवरी के लिए इसने कस्टमर से कनेक्ट करवाया है. एंड देन this e-commerce company will deduct its commission and make the payment to the supplier. This is how the e-commerce model works. For goods, it works like this. For services also similarly, it works on this because the intermediary is an e-commerce person, right? Take the example of Ola also. When you book a cab, do you know the cab driver directly? You don't know, because it is being listed on Ola here. Through their technology, they will find who is ready to ship you or ready to move you, are ready to give you the transport facility. You will pay to the Ola will pay to the cab driver. Correct? So that is how all the marketplace model works. Now, in this, the GST authorities have seen that yes, there is a potential to collect revenue, because if I go and ask the cab aggregators, give me all your supplies, they will tell I don't. If I ask the customers, I cannot ask because there are so many customers. So then in that case, what will happen? In that case, what will happen? They've said that, okay, you guys are all getting booked through this Ola and Uber. I will go collect the data from them and I will tell them to make the payment of the GST on your behalf. So whatever technology is there, this technology will capture what are all the transactions which has happened, and on behalf of the supplier, it will pay the GST. So customer will pay the GST amount. Instead of supplier paying to the government, the e-commerce operator is paying to the government. This is exactly what is there in the 9.5. 9.5 says GST on these transactions has to be paid by the e-commerce operator. Yes, Rishi Vyas, do you have any question?
या सर, इसमें टीसीएस का जो प्रिंसिपल है वो कैसे सर उसमें होगा? If you can ask, if you tell me, sir.
Yeah, so there is e-commerce operator. GST will be paid by e-commerce operator, not all the services. Only on these specified services, e-commerce operator will pay. When e-commerce operator is paying tax, then they will not pay TCS. But apart from this, all other e-commerce operator transactions, on that TCS will be paid. Like on a Ola and Uber, tax is paid by the e-commerce operator. Hotels, housekeeping services, restaurant services. Only these 4 categories are there on which tax is paid by the e-commerce operator. Which means when you book anything from your Amazon, that is not getting paid by the e-commerce operator. So in that case, what they will do, they will see to it that this transaction, we are going to the e-commerce operator. and we are making payment to the e-commerce operator. This e-commerce operator, when they make payment to the supplier, right, from this payment itself, they will collect the TCS and pay it to the government. And this will get remitted to the government. And when these people file their returns, they can claim it back. That is how the TCS works.
सर ये टीसीएस उससे कलेक्ट करेंगे सप्लायर से क्या, अगर सप्लाई होगी उसके बाद में भी?
करेक्ट, सप्लायर से कलेक्ट करेंगे, मतलब जो इसको पेमेंट करना है ना उसमें एडजस्ट कर लेंगे, बिकॉज दे डोंट हैव टू कलेक्ट सेपरेटली फ्रॉम हिम. Whatever is their amount, what they have to pay to the supplier, in that itself they will adjust that I have to collect TCS from you and I have to remit the balance to you. And on that e-commerce operators commission, on that GST will be charged. Yes, that will be charged separately. Okay. This is the basic structure, and GST on all of these will not be taxed because you have TCS and you have e-commerce operators paying taxes on behalf. So only on 4 categories: transportation of passengers by any cab, motorcycle, omnibus; accommodation services, which is where we book any room booking by Airbnb or through Make My Trip. On that, GST will be paid by the Make My Trip itself. Services by way of housekeeping services, that is, we popularly use this Urban Clap. On that also, GST will be paid by this Urban Clap company. And on restaurant services, आप Swiggy, Zomato से जो भी order करते हो, on that also GST will be paid by the Swiggy and Zomato itself. Okay. So we'll have further discussion on this and proceed further. I would like to ask Ms. Swati to please take over from.
Yeah, thank you, Deepak. Yeah, good evening, students. So, how is the session going on? Hope you are understanding the provisions and getting full benefit of these live virtual classes. So today, Deepak sir has explained to you the services which are taxable under RCM. I hope that you have understood it in a comprehensive manner, because these services which are taxable under RCM is really very important from examination point of view as well, because generally in the question when the compulsory question in the examination on computation of GST liability, we get few entries on which reverse charge mechanism is applicable, and furthermore sometimes a separate dedicated question is there in which it is asked that how much tax is payable by Mr. X under reverse charge. So yes, these reverse charge mechanism services are really important and they carry a good weightage during the examination. One thing I would like to reiterate here is that when going to the study material at page number 3.26, it is written that in case of import of services, tax is payable by the person importing such service. And there is a footnote number 8, and that footnote has been explained at the end of that page. So you need to ignore that footnote. Right, although it is discussed that this is relevant for final, but since there has been an amendment in October 2024, so it is basically not it is not no more there in the RCM category. So you need to ignore this footnote 8, and furthermore, few very important things, as we generally say that students need to pay special attention to the definitions which are there. As you must have understood in chapter 2, supply under GST, the definition of family, the importance of definition of family, because when we go to schedule 1, activities which are termed as supply without consideration, then in case of related person, then members of the same family are basically treated as related persons. So you need to know the definition of family very well. Similarly, why I am discussing this, definition of family, just to relate it with you that in case of charge of GST, where when we understand the services which are taxable under RCM, there is a definition of renting of immovable property. Actually, generally, we, what we have, what happen is that we tend to ignore these definitions. We see the renting of immovable property, so what could be the definition if we just includes renting? But please pay attention. I'm just retweeting the definition of renting of immovable property. It means allowing, permitting, or granting access, entry, occupation, use, or any such facility, wholly or partially, in any immovable property, with or without the transfer of possession or control of the said immovable property. And the important point to note here is that renting of immovable property says it and includes. What does it include? It includes letting, leasing, licensing, or other similar arrangements in respect of immovable property. So the point to note here is that during examination, or whenever you set for MTP, or any paper, whenever you are revising, you need to you need to pay special attention that renting of immovable property includes letting, leasing, licensing, or other similar arrangements in respect of immovable property. So sometimes, let's say if in the examination you find that leasing of immovable property, then that should not, look like alien to you. What is leasing of immovable property, or letting or licensing of immovable property? Then this is something which is not outside the scope of syllabus. Renting of immovable property itself includes these activities. So I hope that this concept is clear to you, that renting includes all these activities. So even though the term letting may be used, leasing may be used, or licensing may be used for immovable property, but the treatment as applicable in case of RCM will apply same in case of letting, leasing of immovable property, depending upon who is the supplier and who is the recipient of service. So I hope that I am clear. Are you able to understand? Are you able to appreciate this minute definition, the definition? You may give your comments on the, you may give your comments, by joining through BOS Knowledge Portal, or BOS Knowledge Portal or the mobile app. Therein you can give your comments, as the chat box has been disabled because of the nuisances created by the students, few students, right? So now I would again would like to request you to please share your feedback as requested by me in the earlier session as well. And one another important thing, as at this stage you are at the preparation stage. So one thing, students, for you this time we have specifically devised model test papers for you along with case scenarios booklet. So as soon as you are able to complete for for picking the for we're going through the case scenarios, as soon as you are able to complete the 3-4 chapter substantive provisions of GST law, which include supply charge, reverse charge, composition scheme, time, value, exemptions, place of supply, and ITC, then many of the case scenarios are based upon the substantive provisions only, although the procedural aspects are also covered. So at least when you finish your substantive provisions, you can solve the case scenarios given thereunder. Let me have a tour to you to the BOS Knowledge Portal. This is the website, BOS Knowledge Portal. And there we can see case scenario booklet. Right? And when we go through this case scenario booklet, we have intermediate course, final and self-paced online modules. Then intermediate course, paper 3, section B, GST. This is the booklet on case scenarios where we have included a large number of case scenarios for you. This paper 3 is divided into two parts, section A and section B, income tax and GST. And moreover, one special feature which we have included in this booklet on case scenarios, that we have included reasoning as well. right? So when you solve the MTP multiple choice questions, I advise you to solve it in an independent manner and thereafter go through the correct answer, and along with that you can go through the reason, so that you are able to apprehend, you are able to understand, comprehend that what all are the catch which are included in these case scenarios, why, how the particular item is computed, why we have ignored something, why we have included something, why we have given any treatment, given no treatment of a particular item. So we have included exhaustive reasoning for you. So please go through it. And one more publication which we have devised this time is model test papers. So model test paper, I will advise you to go through once you are able to, once you finish off with your syllabus. Then we have included six, for intermediate, we have included 8 model test papers, right? So model test paper you need to solve in an examination like condition, because they are formulated, they are prepared in the manner in which, in an examination pattern, right? So once you are able to, once you just finish off your syllabus, your preparation, then just in the, just in an isolated environment, you can sit with a paper and a pen, so that you are able to analyze yourself whether you are able to complete the paper in the stipulated period of time or not. And another thing, whether you are able to, whether you are able to apply the concepts which you have understood so far. And wherever you find any anomaly, wherever you find that you are not able to do up to the mark, you may, we always recommend you to, whenever you are preparing or you are revising, just keep a pen and notepad with you. You may highlight those areas which you find difficult, so that in the second round of revision, when you go through again these model test papers or the case scenarios booklets, the adjustments where you stuck, wherever it was gray area for you, you pay special attention, special focus on those points. Even during the examination time, that is the day before your examination, so that wherever the points of difficulties are there, wherever you feel that these things you tend to forget, although you know the provisions, but these things you tend to ignore, you tend to forget, they don't come to your mind while solving the questions, you pay special focus on it, and during the examination you are able to solve the paper in the, in the best manner, and you get the, basically, and you are able to pass up with the flying colors. So please students, this time we have prepared for you these model test papers, 8 model test papers for the intermediate paper, and they are amended. And moreover, the case scenarios booklet is also there, and Saransh is also there, right? So these are the things which may be used for the, during the revision strategy, Saransh. But yes, model test paper is also for the revision purpose. And but case scenarios booklet, once you finish off the particular set of the substantive provisions, I will advise you to go through the case scenarios booklet, right? And your feedback is really important for us. Any feedback, anything you want to share, you can share. You can join through the BOS Knowledge Portal or the mobile app, and you may, interact with us. You may raise your concerns, you may raise your queries, you may give your feedbacks upon the classes which are going on. And as you know that yes, you can always send, you can always call us as also, and raise the queries to our email IDs as well, to the subjects idt-inter@ici.in. So today we have completed a considerable part of this chapter, charge of GST, all the services which are taxable in the reverse charge. And I have just discussed with you one definition which shows the importance of definitions, basically how important it is for you to go through a definition in a very comprehensive manner, right? So thank you for your patient listening, and be there with us. We advise you to attend all these classes to make the full use of it. And if you have any query, any feedback, you can always get back to us. Thank you.
Hello? We can end the session, sir.